I paid $100 for this broken ASUS gaming laptop to see if I could fix it. This video is sponsored by iFixit. This is the ASUS Zephyrus G14. It retails for about $1,600. Someone tried to replace the fans in it, and now it's broken. They offered it to me for $100, so I said I would take it and see if I can make a video about fixing it. Now, as you can see, all of the screws on the bottom case are removed already, so disassembly on this will be easy. And we're in. Even now, it is fairly dirty in here still. So whoever replaced the fans on this didn't bother to clean it. So right away I can see a couple things that are concerning. Mainly these screws right here are the threads, or the top of the screw is all buggered up. So they're pretty stripped out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that out or not. Also, this side isn't as tightened down as this side. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but something's going on there. Looks like we've got a antenna cable that's smashed down in here. You can see that better right here. It goes down right under the heatsink right here instead of probably coming out right over here. So that we definitely have to fix. We're missing another screw here and probably another screw here. Also missing several screws on the board. One over here, one over here. Actually, maybe all of the screws on the board. We've got 8 gigabytes of RAM, which I think is what these came with. And I think this is a 1 terabyte SSD, if I remember right. Overall, I don't see anything so far that looks too concerning, but I think what I'm gonna do now is plug in the power and just see where we have power and where we don't. So here we go with power. I don't see any lights or anything indicating charging or indicating that it's plugged in. So it looks like the computer doesn't even recognize that there is a power cable plugged in. Also, that's pretty loose right there. Let's see if there's getting power to the motherboard. Okay, we got 20 volts on the end of the input jack. So that's good. Let's see what kind of power we have on the battery itself. And 0 volts on the battery, so that's definitely not ideal. Also, it looks like we have a broken battery connector over here. There's a locking tab right here, and it looks like that's just completely broken off of this side. So that's definitely a problem as well. I'm actually just going to disconnect the battery, and then let's see if we get any lights on after that. Now let's plug it in, see what happens. And no lights at all indicating charging or anything like that. So I think the next thing we need to do is disassemble part of this board so we can get down and start testing all these little chips in here. I'm actually just going to remove both of the fans and the heat sinks just so we can get down to the bare board. And then we can also see how badly these screws are damaged, because we might need to replace those as well. So for this repair, I'm going to be using my iFixit Manta driver kit. And the reason I'm going to be using this one is because it's got a lot more bits than just the ProTech toolkit. So it's got a lot more bits. It's also got the bigger driver along with a lot of the bigger bits. Not that I'm going to be needing those, at least I don't think so. But it's really great that they include the bigger ones in this one kit, just in case you run into things that you need the bigger bits for. So for these ones that are stripped out, I'm gonna be just trying to match up a bit that will catch any of those, any of the little edges there. So I'm gonna be trying several different ones and see if I can find one that's gonna work. Oh, those aren't even very tight in there, that's good. So you can see, I can actually just turn this just with my fingers. So that's not very tight at all. What about the other ones? Yeah, same here. These things haven't even been tightened down all the way. That's interesting. Those ones have. So these screws haven't even been tightened down all the way. These ones over here have been. this is interesting. This has not been cleaned out either. I mean, it's been cleaned out probably, but it's still got a lot of dirt in here. Same with the other side. Just got a lot of dirt in these little heat sinks over here. Also, the thermal paste here has not been replaced, but it looks like this thermal paste may have been. So that's definitely interesting. You can see all of this is what looks like fresh thermal paste, but this is definitely not. If you're gonna replace your fans, you might as well replace the thermal paste since you've already got it apart for that. I think I've seen enough to know that I should probably just remove this entire motherboard just so we can look at the bottom side and see if there's anything obvious going on there. Maybe there's some damaged components we can see. Let's get the rest of this disassembled just so then we can try and fix the board and then get it all put together so we know that it's put together properly. So here's definitely another issue. Got a lot of dirt and debris down in where the keyboard is. So this was also not cleaned out. And it's probably causing a problem with the keyboard. So we'll have to do some cleaning on this once we get these fans and the board out. And again, the same thing over here. Got a lot of dirt buildup inside the keyboard here. And this is where these antenna cables were smashed down here. So we'll need to make sure and route these correctly once we get this thing back together. Now with the board out, can take a look at the back side. I don't see any evidence of any sort of liquid damage on the top or bottom side. So I think it's time to start looking at this area over here under a microscope and see if we can see anything under the scope. So here we have the power input, and we've already checked. We know we get voltage here. Voltage goes through this component. Over here, we get voltage on these two MOSFETs here. So there's absolutely no problems there, and we get voltage all the way to here. I've been looking around on the board and I haven't found any other problems at all. I've checked like these MOSFETs right here, they work fine. So I don't see any clear and obvious problems with this first portion of the board where the power comes in. And then looking over here by the battery connector, we can see the damaged connector there, but don't see any problems with these components either. So after a visual inspection on this board, I just see nothing wrong, or at least nothing that is obviously wrong. So when we have the laptop plugged in to power, we've got 20 volts here. We've got 20 volts over to here. 20 volts on this MOSFET, which then turns it into 26 volts down here. 20 volts here. And 20 volts here. So we have the power we need coming through this entire section of the power input. Since I can't find any other problems on the board visually, I'm gonna get out a thermal camera and just see if we can see any hot spots on the board with it plugged in like this. Okay, and we don't see, oh wait, here we go. We already have a hot spot right there. So that would be right over in this area right here. Let's get zoomed in on this part. So let's check these components near this chip and see if there's any that are obviously shorted. That's a capacitor, so that's normal for it to beep like that on one side. Okay, I don't see any components around it that are shorted. Let's test the little legs on the chip itself. And I don't see any obvious constant shorts. There's a couple of those legs. When I moved my probe over it, then it seemed like it shorted, but then it went away. I think that's pretty normal. But I think probably what we're gonna have to do is replace this chip. The one other thing I did want to do though is look on the other side and see if there's any components over there that are obviously shorted out. Well, that's a pretty simple answer. There's only one little component right here. Let's just check that real quick. And that one is not shorted out. So I think that basically just leaves us with this chip itself. I don't know of anything else that would cause this chip to heat up like that, especially since there's no obvious shorts in these components around here. So I think what we need to do is replace it, and then once it's replaced, we can see if the problem is still there or if it's gone. So I'll be using my hot air soldering station to remove this chip, and then I will use the same hot air soldering station to install the new chip. And parts just arrived, so the first thing I have to do is tin the pads. That just means that I'm gonna add some fresh solder onto each one of these little pads right here. And that just makes it so when I go to put this chip on the board, it'll stick to the solder that's already on the board. And now we get to figure out if this chip over here will still heat up like it was. If it does heat up, then that means there's probably something else shorting out, and that's what's causing it to heat up. If not, we might have fixed the problem, or at least part of the problem. Right over here, you can see this bright spot. That's where I was just pointing my hot air. So that's just from that, and that'll go away over time. So what I'm gonna do now is plug it in and see if this chip right over here gets hot. Okay, and it definitely is getting warm. One thing I do notice though is it looks like the hot spot might be just a little bit off from the chip. It's really hard to tell. It's really hard to pinpoint it at this point. So with the power plugged in, this area is still getting hot right over here. So what I gotta figure out next is why. There has to be something that's like shorting out or something over here. With this being a brand new chip, we know it can't be a problem with the chip itself. So, especially because this chip I bought from DigiKey, which is a high quality parts supplier. Some chips you gotta get off of AliExpress or eBay, you kind of wonder about, and sometimes they're faulty, but I'm pretty confident that this chip is a good chip. So next we need to try and pinpoint this and figure out why this is getting hot right here. Let's flip it over and check the other side of the board. We definitely have the exact same area getting warm over here. It is a little bit less bright on this side. Well, maybe not. Given that there's just not really on this side of the board, it has to be something over on the other side of the board. So I'm gonna start doing some testing and see if we can figure out what exactly is going on here. So while the camera was off, I decided I'd go ahead and resolder that chip that was heating up. And now when I plug it in, it doesn't get warm like it was before. If I can get it plugged in, there we go. So there's no bright spot on the board right there. In fact, I don't see bright spots anywhere on the board. But what I do notice is when I do an ohms check over here, everything is fine until we get to right over here on this MOSFET. And we get a short. So right here's a short. The short shows up over here. So now we have something causing a short. So what I'm gonna do now is inject voltage right on this area right here and see what gets hot on the board. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna be injecting 1.5 volts to start. Whoa, something gets very hot quickly. Let's try 0.5 volts. Nothing there. Okay, the only thing I see getting hot is a component right over here. It gets hot quick. So the part getting hot right now is right between here and here, somewhere right in here. And it looks like this side gets hot first. So I think this is the component that was getting hot, this little MOSFET right here. So let's check between the source, the drain, and the gate and see if there are any shorts. Yes, there is. And yes, there is. So this guy's definitely shorted. Let's remove that and see if the short still exists. Okay, with that gone, let's inject voltage. Oh, and now the short just moved, okay. Now it's showing the short right on this guy right here. So I guess the only thing to do is remove this and then see if it goes away. So now with that chip removed, let's see if there is still a short. And there is, but it's not in that area. Let's try the other part of the board. Oh, here we go. This guy right here is lighting up. So I'm gonna take that next chip off and see if that will remove the short entirely. And now with that chip removed, let's see if there's still a short somewhere. Okay, my power supply is not beeping. I also don't see any hot spots. Okay, so did we finally find the source of this short? Is it this chip right here? Maybe. Let's go up to 2 volts and see if that shows anything. Okay, we got 2 volts. Yeah, and we're just showing 0 amperage on our power supply, and there is no indication of anything heating up on the board. So I think maybe we found the source of our short. So let's do a test of these components right here and just see if they show any shorts to ground. That'll be a good way to verify it. Oh, we already have a short to ground. Okay, starting right here, all of these components right here are still shorted to ground. So are these guys. So all of these guys are also shorted to ground still. So even though it showed up on this chip right here and the other 2 chips, there's still a short somewhere. It just happens to be that this chip might be the one that was connecting the shorted circuit. So we still have a short though that we have to try and figure out. And when I inject voltage, it doesn't show any hot spots on this board. So next I'm going to try something that is just kind of a stab in the dark. I'm going to go through and inject voltage on each of the pins on this chip and just see if we can find any that short out. So let's go across the top first. Okay, there was one on that bottom one, but I think that was a ground, because when something shorts out as like a direct short to ground, it buzzes very, very quickly and high pitched. So I think that's all that one was. So we've done 3 sides. Let's try this last side. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pin 6 definitely warmed some stuff up over here. So that is right in this area, but I think it's on the other side of the board because there's not really any components on this side. So let's flip it over and see if we can pinpoint it. Let's see if we can find it just by checking resistance. Okay, these 2 components right here both seem to be shorted to ground. That one's not, and that one's not. Oh, that one might be as well. Oh, yep. There's a bunch of stuff under here. Okay, so I'm gonna inject voltage right here, and let's see what happens. And here we go. Nothing. Oh, here we go, we gotta ground it. It's not gonna really do us any good if we don't ground it. Now let's see what happens. Okay, and immediately this whole trace gets hot. Right to there, which goes to the other side of the board. So I removed a component from here and a component from here because that's where the heat looked like it was coming from. But then I got to looking over here, and I wanted to do a little bit of ohms testing over here to check the resistance here and check the resistance down here and see if we have any shorts here. So we definitely have one there. Yep. 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 I mean, at this point, I'm kind of wondering what isn't shorted out. Hey, that's not shorted. Well, this went downhill pretty quickly. So none of this stuff up here is, but all of these components down here are all shorted. That means that there's not just one thing that's probably causing this short, but there's probably multiple things. So unfortunately on this board, there are just too many shorts in multiple places on the board for me to be able to trace down all the problems on it. If you like this type of video though, a while back I bought 5 broken high-end gaming laptops to see if I could fix those. I think you'll probably like that video, so I'll leave that link up on your screen now if you'd like to come hang out with me over there and see if I could fix those ones. Be sure to check out ifixit.com/TronicsFix if you're looking to buy parts, tools, or if you're just looking for repair guides for what you're trying to fix. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.